this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here today, just thought I'd flick the camera on. It's a wet, horrible, miserable Saturday. So I thought that I would just literally flick the camera on and craft along with you guys. So I'm just working on this journal here, and I just thought we would, you know, just continue basically, you know, working on it. So I've just got some pieces here that I just want to add in. I've just got this, what's going to be a corner sort of pocket or tuck spot up there. So as you can see, all I've done is, you know, kind of reinforced it at the moment with a couple of pieces stuck together, and obviously just put some bits and bobs on there. So I'm just going to distress ink it up with my ink pad here. It's been a long time actually since I just flicked the camera on, you know, mid-flow through a project, but I think sometimes people enjoy that type of video because, you know, not everyone wants to watch like a whole series. I sometimes wonder whether people get a bit bored watching a whole series, you know, doing an entire project. So sometimes it's perhaps nice to, you know, mix it up a little bit. So I'm just going to mix a couple of bits on here. I've got some white doily, which I think I'll pop down on there. So I hope the weather's better where you guys are. Oh, sending lots of love and wishes to anybody who's in the UK who has been flooded recently. I mean, oh, the weather has been just relentless rain and wind, and you know, the flooding, I know particularly up north, is just horrendous. So yeah, lots of love to those people who have been suffering because of that. I mean, I really hope that none of you guys have been, you know, suffering at all, but it just looks horrendous. So, and there seems no end in sight. Every day you get up and it's the same weather again. So I, you know, really hope that things improve for you guys. Right, let's just pop this glue down. So I just pop this on these two sides. So I just run some glue down these two sides like that. Okie dokie. And just pop that on there like that. Okay. So I've got some other videos planned at the moment that I'm hopefully, you know, filming to have them in the bag. So got something a bit fun coming up. Hopefully it'll probably take a couple of weeks to actually, you know, film all of the videos, but yeah, hopefully then it's going to be something a bit fun and yeah, a little bit different. So stay tuned for that coming up in a couple of weeks. So just press that down. I mean, this 3-in-1 is pretty, you know, fast drying and quite powerful. So hopefully it's pretty stuck now. Right, now I have got this lace here, which I'm wondering whether I can incorporate this somewhere. So I might just have it as like a pocket across this page. I hope that I'm in frame. Let me just check, because I have zoomed in a little bit because yeah, I just have. Let me zoom out slightly. Okay, that's probably a little bit better. So I'm wondering whether I could have that down there on that page, and of course it just wouldn't be much fun with nothing else on that page. So let's just have a look. Obviously this journal's got a blue feel running through it, so I've got some pockets here from my blue vintage kit, so could do something there. Oh, look what's happened to that doily. I hope that's going to dry clear. Oh, it's so annoying. I don't know really what they've done to that glue, but it's just not quite as it was. Tempted to have that pocket on that page actually, so I'll leave that there. I think we'll go for a lacy one here. I am going to finish this page off, but I thought what I'd do is work on the facing page and then I can tie them both together so they hopefully have a little bit of, you know, consistency kind of running through. I've got some of my fairy tale words here. So I really like just having the sentiment, happy, you know, and they lived happily ever after at the end of the journal because, you know, to me, that's just really a nice way to finish a journal. So, you know, like hopefully wishing all good things for whoever has been working in it. So I do really like incorporating that on the last page. I'm not saying that I always do that, but I think it's a really nice thing to have on the finishing page there. Right, let's just have a look. I'm just seeing whether I've got any more white doily laying about. I mean, obviously I have got more white doily, but whether or not it's within grabbing distance is another thing altogether. Can't see it at the moment. Well, might just have to use some coffee dyed doily on this page. So I'm thinking maybe just, you know, we might just have it like that, to be honest. And then I'll ink up the sentiment there. So I must use the 3-in-1 this time and not use that glue that's marking the doilies like that. If that stays like that, I will cover that up, obviously, because I mean, obviously the glue's just drying at the moment, so it might be that it will dry clear, but if it dries, you know, still marking the doily, which actually I've just realised why that's done that so badly. It's because it's glued onto coffee dyed paper, because I had noticed that the problem was happening every time I, you know, glued coffee dyed doily down, and I thought I'd be okay with that because it was white doily, but I've just realised it was glued onto coffee dyed paper, which presumably there's some sort of weird reaction with the coffee and the glue. I wonder if I can just peel that back up. Oh, not great. Right, let's just peel this up and then I will do something to try and rectify this. Well, not really rectify it, but just disguise it in a moment. So, oh, it's so annoying, isn't it? Right, so I must try and remember now, do not use the glue, even on the white doily, if it's going on coffee dyed stuff, because it's obviously the reaction to the coffee for some reason. Just annoying, to be honest. Right, well, that will have to do for the minute, and oh, look, just really making a mess there, so I'll come back to that. Let's focus on this page, which hopefully is going to go a little bit better. Now, as you can see, this lace, you know, it's quite damaged at the bottom. It is some vintage lace that I was gifted by my friend who I worked with, but it is a bit damaged, so I'm wondering if I glue it down and then I will cover this portion up, I think. So again, I'm just going to take that 3-in-1, oops, which is now seeping out. Let me just knock that up to the side. This probably wasn't a very good idea, was it, to come on doing a video on a Saturday morning? Okay. It's because I haven't had breakfast yet, because the boys are still in bed and my daughter is downstairs with my husband. So, you know, I haven't had breakfast because obviously I like us all to have breakfast together, so I'm waiting for the boys to wake up. And I thought, oh, well, just quickly squeeze a video in. But that's, of course, why I'm not really thinking straight, is because I haven't had breakfast yet. It really makes an enormous difference. And I have made, you know, learnt my lesson now. Do not do videos before eating. Before eating? Yeah, when I haven't had breakfast, because your ability to concentrate is just not quite the same. Anyway, I just wanted to quickly cram it in, because if I wait till after breakfast, obviously everyone's up, and then I might not get a chance to do one at all. Right. Let's have a look. This is some of that gorgeous trim that I was gifted by Edwina so kindly. So I thought I would use some of that. Because I talked before about, you know, it finally occurred to me that actually, of course, people are wanting you to use the things that they send you. So rather than just endlessly hoard my lovely things that I'm gifted, which is my automatic, you know, oh, I don't want to use it, you know, because it was so nice to be given that. I'm now trying to actually be a little bit more, what's the word? You know, using things. Right. So I can come up to about the end of that flower. So again, I'll just take my 3-in-1 and then just apply some glue. My 3-in-1 is coming to the end. I have got another bottle, but it's coming to the end, and subsequently it's just getting messier and messier on the bottle. Every time I touch it, it's more and more messy. Can you see? Now I've got threads hanging all over it from the lace. So I'll just pop that trim down there like that. And that's just disguised, you know, that little portion of that lace that was sadly torn. So I'll just trim that off. There we go. And then do I want to just add a bit more glue? Oh, look at this glue. Okie dokie. Right. And get that out of the way before I'm even more smothered in glue. Right. So that's a really pretty lace pocket now. Yeah, love how that looks. Now, you can probably see it's got these torn bits on the bottom. I might cut them off. I might leave them. Personally, I think that kind of adds a little bit of, what's the word? Charm, I suppose, to it. So I might just actually leave them like that, because I actually think it looks nice. You know, I'm not over keen, strangely, on, you know, the look when you've just got completely dead squared off lace. I think it looks prettier, personally, when it's like this rough sort of edge. So I might just leave that. Now, what happened to my happily ever after? Oh, what have I done with that now? Oh dear, what is going on? Oh, I don't know now where that's disappeared to. Might have to just tear another one out. Oh, I might just have to tear another one out. There's another one there. So this one obviously has got sort of gold writing, but that's fine. So just tear that down. I'm quite enjoying putting things in the middle, oddly, at the moment. I never did that previously, but sometimes I think that's quite nice. So just inked that up so it stands out a little bit more like that. We could put that on something, maybe like on some soft net or something like that. Again, let me just see whether I've got anything remotely handy. I've got this lace trim. Hold on. Oh no, oh, actually I have got some net here. In fact, I have got even a choice of colours. I've got this ivory. It's not net, but you know, that type of thing. So we could pop that there. Yeah, I like that on there. I'm not even going to look at the white, because I think that looks really pretty like that. So I'm just going to glue that down with the Fabri-Tac. Oh, I finally saw that film Emma that I have been wanting to see. Oh, it was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful costumes. Absolutely gorgeous costumes. And the girl who plays Emma, I can't remember what her name is, but she's really a beautiful girl, and she's just got this really unique look to her. Yeah, I think she's probably one of those people that can look really different, you know, carry off a whole bunch of different looks. But yeah, she's got a really sort of unique look. Anyway, it was a lovely film. So if you haven't seen it and you're a bit partial to a period film, then I would say it was lovely. Oops. I mean, obviously we've all seen them before, haven't we? But they are lovely to watch. And it had that chap in who I know that I've mentioned him before. I think his name is Bill Nye. He's not in it very much, unfortunately. I could just watch him all day. I find him really, really interesting, and really, I love his voice. I love his mannerisms. And he always just seems like such a nice man. He was playing Emma's dad, and so was, you know, this lovely man, obviously, in that part as well. He was in that film Love Actually as well. Yeah, there's just something about him I really like. So I enjoyed, even though he wasn't in it overly much, every time he was, I really enjoyed his scenes. Right, that's that there. Okay, now I've got this little bit of trim that we could just finish off the bottom there. I hope this is in frame. So I'm going to just pop that on again with a bit more of the 3-in-1. Oh, come on. Come on. Yes, that chap, Bill Nye, he's also in a film called About Time. It's quite old now. I don't know how old, maybe like, I don't know, 7 years old, something like that. It's such a good film. It's about a time travelling, well, I was going to say family, but it's just really the son and the dad. But it's so good. It's really funny. It's very heartwarming. And of course that, you know, that chap Bill Nye is in it, and he's lovely, as he often seems to play. Lovely, lovely characters. Yeah, it's a really good film. I'd really recommend it. Right, so that's that page. I don't know whether it's finished. I might add some more things because, of course, I like to add more. More is always my motto. So I might add something up there. I'm not sure. You know, I'm quite happy with it as it is, but whether I come back and sort of see it later and think it needs more. Now, obviously, now I need to rectify this, which looks hideous. So we're going to have to do something here to get rid of all of this stuff. So first of all, let's just have a look and see whether we could just cover it up with some more doily. This time maybe just some coffee dyed doily. It does cover it, actually, which I'm quite surprised. I'm just going to bin that centre of the doily. I sometimes keep it to make little pads. But I'm trying to be really strict with myself because everything is so messy that I need to actually be a little bit stricter. Right, I'm rummaging on my desk. I knew I had some white doilies. Right. Because I was really liking the white, the contrast of the white on here. So I'm just going to tear that and just see how that's going to look if we pop that down, whether we actually cover up that coffee successfully or not, or, you know, that marking. I mean, depending on how it's glued, really, it does. So, yeah, I like the contrast because we've got this white lace down here. I think it looks really you know, making a nice contrast across on the facing page. So let's just glue that down, and definitely using the 3-in-1 this time, not using that tacky glue, which is not enjoying being put anywhere near anything that's remotely coffee dyed. Here we go. Right, I need to stand up again so as I can actually see, to try and cover up the mess underneath. Okay, hopefully that's going to be good enough. So I'll just press that down. I mean, you can still see it, unfortunately, so it's not covered it up as well as I'd hoped. But I mean, if it looks terrible, I can always pop like a butterfly or something like that on there. You know, we'll see kind of how it looks once it's all completely dry. So that's that. Now, I do want to have a little bit of trim of some sort on that page, so just having a look again, just grabbing some sort of scraps really, whoops, that I've got laying around. Let's see, I have got some of this is just some old top, so we could just kind of have this draping somewhere. Quite like it even just draping down the top, but I love this piece, and I don't overly want to cover that up, so I wonder if we have it there. And let me just have a look at a bit more of this pretty trim. Did anyone else see that lovely video from Rachel? It was Rachel and Lulu doing some crafting together. Well, I say together. Rachel said, I'm not going to, you know, be involved. But of course, obviously, you know, as a mum, it's very hard, isn't it? Not to be involved and not to offer up a bit of advice sometimes. So yeah, it was, you know, very much how I would be. Actually, to be fair, not how I would be. Rachel was much more restrained than I would be, at not kind of offering up suggestions or opinions. I would be constantly saying, oh, how about that there? Oh, how about that? Oh, why don't you try this? But she was pretty restrained actually. But her daughter used this print, and she also didn't want to cover up that gorgeous logo. Well, it's not really a logo, but you know, that ornate piece. It is lovely, isn't it? Anyway, it was a really nice video, just really enjoyable to watch. And her daughter has obviously got her talent as well, because she has done a couple of things lately, and oh, they're just as lovely as Rachel's. So yeah, she's obviously got her mum's gift. Right, let's just add some glue direct to this. I'm going to use my newer 3-in-1 because that's hopefully a bit less messy. I'll keep the other one because it's still got a little bit in there. But for when I'm hopefully not doing videos, so you won't all have to be subjected to seeing me getting quite so messy with the glue. Oops. Would you believe it's actually looking like it's drying up a little bit out there? And there was me thinking I was, you know, going to have an excuse for a day's crafting. But no, it's now drying up. I mean, I'm not complaining. Obviously, it's nice that the weather's drying up, especially for those people who are praying for some drier days. But, you know, just sometimes it's quite nice to have an excuse, isn't it? That it's foul weather, so then it's like, oh, well, I have to just, you know, not really do a lot today, and I can just come up and do some crafting. But never mind. Well, to be honest, who knows, because the weather can just change, you know, very quickly, can't it? Now, do I like that up there, or do we want it at the bottom? Again, what I'm going to do is stand up and have a look, because I know I've said this so many times. It really often can look completely different when you look down on something to when you're looking. I mean, actually, now I'm looking down, that's not very straight. So, oh dear. Again, that's the no breakfast thing. Oh, I like it down there, I think. So Let me just pop that on. Oh well, let's just quickly glue this down. Okay, whoops, okay. Like that. Okay. Right. I thought it was time that I made some journals because, to be honest, I've noticed that I don't seem to actually get any journals made because I'm actually just, you know, videoing all the time. I don't really end up, you know, actually completing any journals. So, yeah, I thought I'm going to make a couple. So I've got one, well, I've got two actually completed that are hopefully going to be, you might see one of them even maybe later today. I've done a first refusal to somebody who I'd promised, you know, she'd requested a journal and I promised I would give her first offer. So I don't know whether she will obviously want that or not, but if not, it will be going up in the next, you know, couple of days anyway. Got another one that I just need to film, and then hopefully this one will be finished quite soon. I haven't got a great deal more to do on this one, but a few more hours, or you know, certainly a couple of hours at least. Right. Of course, I can't have a page without bling, so I might just put that piece of bling up there because it looks really quite delicate and quite pretty on that trim. So again, I'll just use that 3-in-1. Okay. Wow, everyone's very quiet downstairs still, aren't they? So I don't know what my daughter and my husband are doing, but I suspect they're in the kitchen. My sons must still be asleep. I mean, it's not like really early or anything. Right, okay, so I'm happy-ish with that. Obviously, as I say, I will sort of come back and just see how that's looking. But at the moment, you know, I'm quite happy with that. So obviously I'm going to pop things into those pockets, but at the moment I quite like how they look. So going over onto this page, I mean, if you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I don't very often do a journal in order. I like to just jump around and do whichever page takes my fancy. So as you can see, you know, I'm going backwards now, having done the, you know, the inside back cover. So I've done this page. I mean, I've done most of the pages, but there's just one or two that I haven't done. So this being one of them. And I just thought I might just pop this pocket down because I thought actually it looks really quite nice facing this piece. So this is just from my blue vintage kit, and I'm just going to then just fold it in along the fold lines. Oops. So I mean, this is just, it feels like a cheat using these pockets because obviously it's just so quick. You know, if you want to just have a pocket and these are just then ready-made, it just feels almost like you're cheating because they're so quick. Right. Oh, that looks so pretty, doesn't it? Even just, you know, completely on its own, really, like that. I mean, of course, I won't leave it on its own, but I do like how it looks already. Right. Let's have a look and see what type of thing we might want to have on here. So I've got some of my book plates. Well, I say I've got some of my book plates. Let's have a look. I only have quite big ones. I have got the smaller ones, but I can't locate them on my desk at the moment because my desk's so messy. So do you know what? I'm going to just cut out this one, which on one of the pages I've just incorporated a couple without the, you know, those end bits that make them look like a book plate, I suppose, if that makes sense. So this is just like a little rectangular piece. Oh, I don't mind it like that. I would prefer it with the ends. I wish I could think what I've done with my other ones. Obviously, I don't want to stop the video and actually go and, you know, reprint some off, because that would just seem ridiculous. Let me just have a quick rummage and just see whether I can just spot any quickly, because at least that would be handy. Right, just knocked my lamp now. Oh, it's just not going well this morning. Right, let's have a look. Just rummaging through like a sort of packet of odds and ends here that I've got. No, not in there. Oh, how annoying. Don't you just hate it when you can't find just what you're looking for? I've just got another little thing full of odds and ends. Have I got anything here? Oh, come on. Oh, this is so annoying. No. I have got the ones without the ends, or I have got large ones with the ends. Oh, come on. This is just silly. Oh, here we go. I've got a slightly smaller one here. So with ends, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh, this, honestly, everywhere is such a tip at the moment. I just can't tell you. Oh, right. Okay. I do love it on this colour, I have to say, but I do like the ends. So let's just ink this up and see how it looks. If you're thinking that everyone's being so quiet, or my husband and my daughter are being so quiet, it's because, obviously, don't forget, I'm 2 floors up, because I'm, you know, I'm in our loft. So they're obviously, you know, they're not just beneath me. They're like on the next floor. So 2 floors down, you know. So I'm sure they're not being as silent as it seems. I'm sure they're probably down there making quite a bit of noise, but thankfully we can't really hear it. Right, okay. Let me have a look in my tin now. Right, I'm going to just make a little sort of pact here not to do a video again without eating, because this just probably is yeah, not great for you guys to be watching. I've also got that one. Oh, we'll go for the one that says notes, I think. Right, got my little brads, which I just love the how the brads look in these. So let's just poke 1, 2. Okay. These are those brads that I've used before, with those really long legs like that. So I will have to trim those down. Gosh, I'm so covered in glue, I can't tell you. Very, very messy today. And it's only early. Not that early. Not that early, but quite early to be quite covered in glue already. But okay, so let me squash that down so those brads are properly flattened. Now, do we like this off at the side? Oh, let me get rid of those pieces of brad. Oh no, I can't get hold of them. Oops, come on. Right, do we like it off to the side or in the centre? Oh, do you know what? Again, really weirdly, I'm quite liking it in the centre. I know I said this just now, but I never put things in the centre. And yet, for some reason, the centre is just like working for me at the moment. I don't know why that would be, but for some reason the centre is kind of like panning out at the moment. Right, have a little scrap of fabric here to my side. Should we have it on a piece of fabric there? hey, it's raining again, so I might get time to do another video later after all. I won't obviously upload it today. I won't subject you to two doses of my Saturday crafting antics. Plus, I mean, I dread to think how messy my hands will be by then, because they're already pretty diabolical now. So, but yeah, it's raining again. Right, let's just pop that on there. Okie dokie, let me just cut that down. Okay, so obviously those threads are stuck all over me, which wasn't the intention. They're also stuck all over the glue now. Oh my gosh. Let's get that lid on that and get it out of the way. Oh my goodness. That rain is literally chucking it down. I actually feel like picking the camera up and swinging it around to the window to show you guys. I won't do that because it's literally balanced on top of that chair and things on my desk, and if I move it I'll never get it back. But yeah, it's really looking hideous out there, I must say. Right, okay, actually have to just go back to the glue like that. Okay, just have that in the middle there. Oh, that's so pretty. You know, I mean, that literally was like nothing to decorate that piece up, but how gorgeous does that look? Sort of like simplicity, isn't it? Simplicity itself, but just looks really nice. Now, of course, that wouldn't be it. We want to obviously have something else on that page. I have got some ruffle, some ready stitched ruffle that we could have. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? Just have a look. Now, if I put it down there, I'm wondering if I've kind of closed the page in, because we've got this lace strip down the side. If I put that down that side, is it making the page seem a little bit narrow? So we could just have it at the top, but then am I making it like there's something in all four corners? Could just have it at the bottom, like an, you know, at an angle. Or maybe just at the bottom there. Oh, decisions, decisions. Oops. I think, strangely enough, I actually do quite like it going down the side. So let me just glue this piece on. Again, I'm just going to use that 3-in-1 just for speed. Oh, the wind's now picking up out there. It's sounding windy. Okay, so let me just press that down. So it's our family meal night that we like to have tonight on Saturdays. We normally have that unless, you know, kind of our kids are out or whatever. Haven't decided what I'm going to cook for that yet tonight, but might have some sort of pasta, I think. Not sure. Not sure. I'll have to see what everybody fancies. Right, that's that piece. Now, just going to have a look and see with that ruffle. It's just easier once that's glued in place. I'm not having to then hold everything down. Oh, I think I do like that, to be honest. So I'm just going to run some glue. Just cut that really long thread off. That's just ginormous. Literally ginormous. Right, let's just run some glue down the edge here. Okie dokie. Now I'm just going to run my finger across that as if I wasn't gluey enough. But the reason being is because this is quite thin fabric. And if I glue it straight down on a lot of glue, I just find that the glue then is quite visible through the fabric. So there we go. you know, so for me, I just quite like to get rid of some of the excess. There we go. And I'm just going to chop that ruffle off here. Like that. And then I was going to say you can always put another bit of glue there, but actually my ruffle is, you know, it's glued pretty well down there. So I don't need to even do that. So that's another page. Now, the only thing that we obviously haven't got any of is we haven't put any bling on there anywhere. Let's just chop that down. Oh, we have got some bling on that side actually, so it's not a blingless page. It has got some. Oh, I love that there, but I'm not sure I like it because I don't feel like it matches the facing page now. Oh, might not be able to have that now. Let me just see whether I've got some matching the facing page. Got that one. Obviously that's quite a long piece, so let me just chop that down. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? So I'm just going to stick that there. Stick that there. And then I was meaning to say, oh, I don't know what I was meaning to say actually. Right, it's time to go and have breakfast, isn't it? Time to go and get breakfast and get some sort of brain power going for the day. Right, okay. Perhaps I'll have to upload this video with a bit of a warning that I've not had breakfast, and so take anything I'm saying with a pinch of salt. So there we go. Right. Okay, so I love how that looks. So we've obviously completed those 2 pages. Love how they look. Yeah, best go and wake my boys up and go and have breakfast now before I literally just even forget my own name really. So yeah, I hope that you like that quick video there. I hope everyone has a really fab Saturday. Hope the weather is not too unpleasant wherever you are, and see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.